Cyclone Jitsu!
Falcon Punch!
Believe it!
Sure, alright, come on guys, let's just get on with the review.
Hey Hex, come on, you like anime just as much as the rest of us.
Well, Sakura's hair is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 is the fighting game that lets you dive headfirst into the world of the cartoon series Naruto Shippuden. When Naruto's story first began, he was just a little tacker of 12, but around 220 episodes in, he went off to train with Jiraiya, and the show jumped ahead 3 years. Suddenly, the orange, outrageous, irrepressible Naruto became a teenager, facing bigger and badder villains than ever before, which is where the game steps in.
The Ultimate Adventure Mode lets you play through the story yourself. From the Gala retrieval arc all the way through to Pain's attack on the Leaf Village. There's some exploration and RPG-like activities such as crafting and fetch quests, but above all, Naruto is a fighting game, and when you do the fighting, it's in the third-person perspective. The combat system is built on a deceptively simple set of controls. One button jumps, one button attacks, and one button charges up your chakra. But it all moves really fast, and to win, you'll need fingers like lightning.
You've got a chakra gauge as well as a health gauge, and you can burn through this spiritual life force to charge up attacks and dart in for the kill. You can also have up to 2 support characters which you can call in with the bumper buttons, and ideally you'll choose a team that has complementary skills.
While they've tweaked everyone's abilities to ensure the game is balanced, all the characters are still quite distinct. Kakashi, for instance, can use his Chidori lightning attack, and Shikamaru can lash out with his living shadow.
You're quite the otaku, aren't you, Darren?
I do admit I'm probably Temeri's biggest fan.
Maybe I'll take a...
Right. Fighting is fun, but a bit simple. But it does capture that in-your-face, brash attitude of the show, and the visuals are just delicious. The color and graphic design really stand out, and visually the whole game just pops. Camera control is automatic, but it works well. But it's the RPG side of things that feels tacked on.
Yeah, it is pretty shallow. Naruto is constantly foraging for randomized, combinable items, and as per standard RPG logic, no one seems to mind that he's constantly raiding through their barrels, and a lot of these items are left behind by animals, and that just didn't make sense. I mean, if a bird leaves behind a pellet, I don't really want to put that in my mouth. Ew.
Also, in between battles, you actually have to buy potions to replenish your health, and in most games like this, after a battle, you're instantly rewarded with full health or it regenerates over time, but here there's a lot more managing. You have to look after yourself a lot more, and that can get a bit tedious.
On top of that, health potions and battle buffs are sold at different stores, which means even more running around. With all these vital shops separated by loading screens, it just feels like a big, huge menu standing between you and the buff.
And also, love them or hate them, there are a lot of QuickTime events here. So I understand that they're a really good way of building tension in those little interaction moments, but they're really tricky here, and I felt that I restarted more because of them than the actual fighting.
A bit like the techno-feudal world that Naruto lives in, so much of this game seems advanced and yet so much seems so primitive.
You know, having said that, I do like being able to jump in and just have a bash, and once you learn how the chakra boosts the special moves, you can really bring the hurt and you get a bit more depth there. It's not going to replace Super Street Fighter 4 as my fighter of choice, Hex, but for a Naruto fan, it's a lot of fun. I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I think the real value of Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 is that it gives fans a chance to relive some of their favourite fights from the show. But I agree that as a fighting game or a role-playing game, it's more of a shadow clone. Try and get a grip on that gameplay and it's going to vanish into a puff of smoke. So I'm giving it 6 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Right, back to the biff. Forklift Jutsu!
What count is that? What count? Crate Jutsu!
Ah! Crowbar Jutsu!
Head crab Jutsu! That's right, there was a head crab in that crate. What are you going to do about it, Darren? Nothing.